Hey guys, it's Justin from Reaction Brewing here. We're back after a pretty long hiatus. We're going to brew today, see if everything goes well. We're going to start out by getting our water starting to load, and we'll get that going. We'll get the boil cow going, that way we can start heating everything up, and then we'll get to our grains. So we'll see you guys back here in a few minutes when we get the grain mill loaded up. Hey guys, we're back. I got some grains here. We got a little bit of Pilsner malt, 25 pounds of Pilsner. Then just a couple pounds of, or a couple scoops, I didn't really measure that, but a couple scoops of Carapils. Then a couple scoops of flake barley that's not going to go through the machine, just for a little head retention, a little mouthfeel. It's supposed to be a light-bodied beer, so it's pretty much going to be all Pilsner, a little bit of the Carapils, and a little bit of flaked oats, maybe 2 pounds of each of those, and then 25 pounds of Pilsner. So we're going to get the old machine running. There's the soft start. That worked out well last time. We're going to try it again this time. We'll be back when we're ready to match in. So we'll see you guys here in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're back. We're up to temp, so I'm going to start transferring some water into the mash tun. Don't mind how dirty everything is. I haven't had time to like super clean everything. So I'm going to grab my other camera here and try to record on both. So what we're going to do is come out of the boil kettle over here, through the pump, up through here, and then we're going to come over, all the way over, and then come into here and go backwards up through the mash tun. So we'll open this guy. So there you go. We open that valve. And then we'll come over here. And we'll close our valve here. We'll grab our boil elements. So let me spin you around. I'm still not very good with this freaking stupid camera. So we grabbed our boil elements here, those are off now. We're at 173 on the temp. And we got to put about, so we'll stop that. We got to put about 13 gallons in here. And that was a fly, freaking flies. It's the only bad part about summer. So we got to put about 13 gallons in there. That'll give us about 11 gallons for the mash. And then the 3 gallons of dead space below the false bottom. So we got a few more minutes to get that in there, and then I'll be back for the actual mashing. Alright guys, that's pretty close. We got her about where I need it. That's the only kind of sketchy part, is we're pretty close to the temperature element, but once we add in the grains, we should be quite a bit above it. So I have the other camera up there rolling. I'll leave you guys rolling. We'll get mashed in. Spill some of those grains right out on the ground. That's the perfect spot for them. So we'll get our manifold over here ready. Drop that in. Grab a gasket and figure out where I put my last clamp that I had. We're about perfect. We wanted to mash in at 148. We're at 148 exactly. That was a total accident. I'm definitely not that good. As you guys know, I don't get too super scientific with the old all of that stuff. So we'll crack our mash valve. We'll turn our mash pump on. And that's that. So we'll let this start mashing. We'll hit our, we'll start our mash schedule there. And let's hope that it circulates and we don't get a stuck mash. So we'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Alright guys, we're in the middle of the mash. I did overshoot on my hot liquor tank a little bit, so I added some cold water and then I overshot there. It's equaling out now. We're back at 148. We were bumping 150, so now we're bumping about 148, 147. So it'll end up working itself out. This is trying to catch back up. We're recirculating through the Herms coil. So I'll grab the camera and try to do a little walkthrough of what we got going on right now and see if I can do it with the big camera without messing everything up. So we're coming out of the bottom of the mash tun, through here, up through this line right here, and then into the Herms coil, down there, that guy. Then we come out, the out right there, which is this line. We come through here, through our little sight glass so we can watch the wort clear up. And then back into the mash tun on top. And then we got our big SS Brewtech manifold. You can see what the kind of flow rate we're going for. We could probably go full out, but I don't know if it makes that big of a difference, and this seems to work good. I don't get a stuck mash. I basically just sit here for an hour doing nothing. Not today, I'm working on other stuff, but that's it for right now. We're catching up. I'll bring you up to the screen here. See how close I can get you. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. There we go. So we got 148 on the mash. And then the hot liquor tank you can see is flashing on and off. And then if we go here, you can see my mash schedule. We're working to get the hot liquor tank back up to 153 to keep that temp differential. And we're 15 minutes and 24 seconds into the mash. So there we go. There's a little shot of the fermenter side. So that's what's going on right now. I wanted to try to get a little bit more in depth in this one. Whoop. Sorry guys. A little more in depth with this one on how everything's going, so you guys got a better chance to see like what an actual brew day does. So again, it's pretty simple. Mash tun, hot liquor tank, mash tun. So we'll be back here in a little bit. I did set up a mash out, but I'm probably not going to do it. I'm just going to let the hot liquor tank kind of heat up for the sparge, and then I'll sparge, and we'll do the fly sparge into the boil kettle. So we'll be back here in probably an hour, and we'll see you guys then. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in real quick and just show you how cleared up that got over the last, we're about 45 minutes into the mash. So, as you can see, it's cleared up nice, going through that grain bed, filtering nice. So, we got about 15 minutes left of the mash before it goes into the mash out just to heat up the sparge water a little bit. We'll see how much we let it heat up, and we'll start transferring, but I'll come back for that, so we'll see you guys soon. Alright guys, we switched to the mash out, so I'll bring you up and show you that. So you can see we're starting to heat up. I just set it at 177. I think I put 172 or something for the mash out, 173. You can check. Yeah, so 172, so it's heating up for that. We did our hour actual mash. Now we're really just heating up for sparge water, and I gotta heat the water up anyways to clean, so I'm not in a rush today. I got other stuff we're doing over here. This is cleaning up freaking great. I'm pretty excited about how this beer turns out. Not bad for 4 to 6 pounds of flake grain. So we'll be back here when we start transferring over to the boil kettle. I just wanted to show you guys that automatically switches. It'll start heating up, and then it'll start the timer when the mash, well, if the mash would reach 172, it'll start the timer. So we'll see you guys in a few minutes. Alright guys, we're back. We got the mashes, or the hot liquor tanks up to temp. That's good enough for me. The mash is at 167. Close enough. So we're going to start transferring from the mash tun into the boil kettle. So we're going to do it at a really slow rate. And then once I can see the grain bed, I'm going to start transferring from the hot liquor tank into the mash tun, into the boil kettle. We'll do a little fly sparge, and we're going to do about 6 gallons, maybe 8 gallons. I didn't really do any math, like normal. So the first thing we're going to do for now is I'm just going to shut my mash pump off. I'm going to shut my recirculation arm here, so you can see how clear this got. Super clear. I mean, it's definitely a little crispy boy. We're going to open up our, so down here, we're going to open up our recirculation into the boil kettle, or not recirculation, but our transfer arm into the boil kettle. And then we'll grab this guy, and I'll try to, so we got our boil kettle, is this valve right here. That comes in here, and then we're going to go right into the bottom of the kettle. We're stopped here, so we aren't going to go back that way. So we'll set you back up, and we'll get to transferring. So we'll turn this back on, our mash pump. We'll try to find my cell phone, and we'll see how we'll shut that off for now. Oh, that's way too fast. Way too fast. There we go. Nice and slow. You want to go nice and slow. So, now we're transferring from the mash tun into the boil kettle. We'll keep doing that until I can see just the very top of the grain bed. We'll bring you over and we'll show you what we got going on right now. See if we can get that a little brighter. There you go. So there you go. You can see that we got a little bit of liquid to go. And then we'll start transferring from the hot liquor tank to do the fly sparge. So we'll be back here in a few minutes. This shouldn't take very long. And I'll show you guys how I do the fly sparge. We'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we're back. It's just been a couple minutes. I like to keep just a little tiny bit of water on the top, or wort on the top of the grain bed, so we're right there. So what we're going to do is over here on this manifold, we've got line coming off the bottom of our hot liquor tank going into the mash tun. So we're just going to crack that very slightly, ever so slightly. There we go. You gotta crack it enough to actually get some flow. And the goal is basically to transfer from your hot liquor tank. You want to check your level, transfer from your hot liquor tank to your mash tun at the same rate basically you're transferring from your mash tun to your boil kettle. So it takes a little finicking around with it, but it's not too bad. It'll take maybe 25-30 minutes for this batch at the most. So, alright guys, we're going to be back here when we're done with the transfer, and we'll take the grains out, we'll get to boiling, then we'll get to frickin' finishing her up. So we'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we've reached the end of the mash out. I'll put maybe 8 gallons in. Take or give, a couple. Coming up on the elements over here. We're probably getting pretty close to where I can turn the elements on. Help if I turn my flashlight on. Yep, we're finally over that last one. So I'll be able to turn the elements on now. And the boil kettle, I guess I should have tilted the camera that way a little bit. So now we're done with the hot liquor tank. We're just transferring the liquid that's left in the mash tun into the boil kettle. Then we'll be done. Once this is empty, we'll be done. So we'll be back here as soon as this empties out in about probably 15 minutes. So we'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we've got all our liquid transferred in the boil kettle. I'll give you guys a little look at that while we're recirculating as we're heating up. So, we're heating up the boil kettle over here, 198 we're at. And then I've just got the hot liquor tank full on for cleaning liquid. And then, we'll try not to earthquake super bad. You can see the boil kettle down there circulating as the steam hits the camera lens. So that's it. Well, we'll set you over here and we'll get the mash tun emptied out. I don't have any of my gloves today, so this should be fun. Still my favorite part of the system. So we'll grab my mash paddle for now. Alright guys, we're at boil. I've reduced the power to 50% output. We got a nice little rolling boil in there. I put the lid back on, as you can see. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our steam condenser running. So we've got our steam condenser here. I'll bring you in for a little closer view. We've got our steam condenser here. All those are jets coming in. And then we've got our water in down there. So our water in down there is actually way over here. So we're going to turn that on. And that'll start spraying water through those jets. And the other thing we got to do is cap that off. So what we want it to do is when the cold liquid hits the hot steam, it pulls a vacuum on the kettle. And pulls all the steam out of the kettle. That way you don't, all your steam doesn't go inside your house or your garage or your whatever, wherever you're brewing. So we just want to watch it, make sure it doesn't boil over, which it shouldn't, because I've lowered our percentage. We're boiling good. So now we're going to let that go. We're going to tell Alexa, set timer for 50 minutes.
50 minutes. Starting now.
She set a timer for 50 minutes.
Time flies by with a good podcast. Just asking to recommend a podcast.
Now she wants to listen to a podcast, but. So we're going to let that go for 50 minutes. That'll give me 10 minutes left in the boil. I'll use that to sanitize my chiller. And then once we get back up to boil, we'll do the 5-minute hop addition. So we'll see you guys in 50 minutes. All right guys, we're back. I really need to start taking notes on brew days, or at least remembering what I did last brew day. So we're boiling off a little bit faster than I thought. We got about 20 minutes left on our timer to get 50 minutes. So what I did was just start going through the chiller. We're gonna do this for about 5 minutes just to sanitize it, 10 minutes, whatever. Just to sanitize it, and then I wanted to do that before I got my hops in there. So do that. We got about 17 gallons left in the kettle. So we'll get about maybe 15 and a half probably out of it. Close enough. I usually try to shoot for 16 in the fermenter, but whatever. We boiled off a little more than I expected. So we're gonna do this for 10 minutes. I'll shut the pump back off, and then we'll be pretty close to being ready for the hop addition. All right guys, we're back. Don't mind the water dripping out of that. I can't get a good seal, and I'm over it, so. What we're gonna do is grab just a little towel here. This is gonna be hot, and I don't have any gloves down here. So we'll pop that off. Just leave the gasket, because the gasket's going to be 1,000,000 degrees. What we have here is 12 ounces of hops. I knew this wasn't going to go well. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes. So 5-minute timer.
Starting now.
Anyways, I think we were supposed to come in at like 1.047, and we were like 1.055 pre-boil. So we're not even close. I've never measured the efficiency, and I need to start so that I can actually just make a batch and not have it turn out different than I expected. So anyway, we're gonna let this run out as we rinse this, and I'll just have to clean it all up when I'm done. We're gonna do 5-minute boil on that, and then we'll be done here in a few minutes. We'll come back to do the chilling, and we'll see you guys then. All right guys, our 5-minute timer went off, so I'm gonna kill both the boil elements. And for now, I'm just gonna turn on the water pump. We're bypassing the chiller right now. So I'm just gonna do a little recirculation in there, a little Whirlpool, get those hops down in the cone, and then we'll start transferring over to the fermenter. So we'll be back here in a minute. I'll get the fermenters all hooked up. I gotta hook the water up to the chiller, and then we'll be back. All right guys, I got the water going full blast, coming in the bottom here, coming out the top. We're gonna bring the wort in here. We just did a little 5-minute whirlpool in there and then a 5-minute settle, just to kind of let everything settle out. So I'm going to stop it from transferring back. I'm going to open this up. Just shut this just for double measures. We got to open up our fermenter over here. I'll bring this back into the picture now. So we got our fermenter here. We're going to come out the bottom right here. And we're going to go into the fermenter. And it's already transferring on its own, so just from the gravity. So we'll turn our pump on. Oh, I don't want that wide open. I just want that barely cracked. I'm not very smart. So we'll leave that barely cracked. Says we're going in right now at about 60, but we're not actually transferring anything. There we go. Now she's trickling in. Starting to warm up. I think at this pace we'll probably single pass it in at about 80. This accelerator is still doing really well. I like it a lot. I don't have any issues with it plugging up like I did with the plate chillers. It cools extremely fast. Yeah, we're running about 80 right there. It's probably about the best we can do. That's probably about the best we can do in Michigan right now. My water temp this morning was 64 going into the kettle, so you can't expect it to be much better than that. So we'll get this done, we'll finish this transfer up, and then we'll be back for the aeration, the clarity firm, and the yeast pitch. So we'll see you guys then. Alright guys, we're done with our transfer. I'm going to try to sneak in there and show you what's left of what's in the boil kettle. I know this is kind of so you can see it was pretty much probably 1.5 gallons of just pure hop sludge garbage. So it really does a good job of, one, getting hops all over my floor, but two, it does a nice job of separating your hops for your transfer. You really end up with a nice big cone of hops in the bottom with that dish bottom and the combination of the plate, the hop stopper plate. I always tilt it forwards just to try to recover a little bit extra because you lose quite a bit, and I hate to lose any. But so I did get some hops in this, but we'll just dump it, and in a couple days I'll just dump the hops out. Be no big deal. So I'm gonna get this hooked up to my chilling station over here. Let the temperature read so we can see where we're at. We might have to let it fall. I'm assuming it's still only in the 80s, so we're gonna have to let it fall down into the 60s before we can do the yeast and stuff. So we'll be back here in a little bit. All right, guys, we're back. We cooled this guy right down. We're at 62 right now. We're gonna do some little oxygenation. So, give it about a minute worth of that, 45 seconds worth of that, whatever. And then when we're done with that, we're gonna hit it with some yeast. All right, guys, we're back. We got our oxygenation done. We got some clarity firm here. Sprayed this all with some nice Star sand. We're almost out of our clarity firm. Gonna measure out about 10 milliliters, like always. And we're gonna use something really scientific to try to find our magnet, either that or we'll just see if we can catch it. If I don't, it won't be the first, it won't be the last magnet I drop in the wort. So we got some Kolsch yeast here going in. That little guy's got to be over there somewhere. Uh-oh. We saved it. Get our cap back on. There we go. That's it. We're done for the day. Good brew day. About 15 gallons in that. We had 1.056 was the original gravity. So a little higher than I was expecting, but whatever. We're gonna let this go for probably about 5 days. Dry hop it with the same hop combo we put in the boil, and also add probably 3 to 4 lemons worth of, or limes worth of lime zesting, the peels off as a dry hop or whatever you want to call it, give it a little lime flavor, a little citrus flavor. And that'll be it. So thanks for joining us today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to get a little bit more in-depth to show you the process. So we'll be coming back with some more brew videos hopefully soon. We'll see you then.